Welcome back to Shum's Universe. So today, guys, we're going to discuss Pythagorean life path number 4, and I'm also going to go over master number 22. So the life path of number 4 consists of hard family life, having to deal with systematic living, a lot of limitations and restrictions due to the influence of Uranus, or what you would call Rahu in Eastern numerology. So we're going to not really discuss the planetary influence because the Western numerologists seem to not really care about the planets that associate with the numbers. They more so just care about what the life path entails. So I'm going to more so cover that today. So if you're a life path 4, you're somebody who's highly organized, quite disciplined. You have to come up with quite a few family strife and struggle, whether that be through relatives, parents, what have you. So that does make you have a very interesting character. You guys are very knowledge-based, love to research, and I noticed that a lot of life path 4s do end up having a quite high IQ, so it's very, very impressive there. What you guys need to watch out for is that through the family life, according to Western numerology, you do have a lot of limitations and restrictions, whether that be through like a tyrannical parent, or abusive relative, or maybe even spouse, and this can continue on for the rest of your life, depending on how you cope with this from your childhood going forward. So if you're watching this and you can relate, what you need to do is understand that Life Path 4 is trying to actually teach you something about abuse and about how to deal with people. And you have to use the knowledge that you accumulated through those hard times to make a better future for yourself. Because that's what it ultimately comes down to. I know of a Life Path 22 personally that's like a bank director right now, and they had an okay childhood, but they didn't have the best one. But they used that organization skills and their discipline to go to the top of the ranks and within a bank. I'm not going to say which one. And now they're pretty much running things, making over $200,000 a year. So it's definitely possible. The life path 4 and 8s, they do have quite hard life paths, but they do end up receiving a lot of good compensation for the hard time that they've had if you're able to actually put in the right perspective what you're going through and you're able to tackle your problem head on. So that's what it really comes down to. So you guys are definitely have a good, well-rounded knowledge. Like I said, organized, clean freaks. Another thing that people may have a problem with you for is just the fact that you guys will bring up the negative in things. So like a life path 4 will be the one to tell you like, yeah, today's sunny, but make sure you dress up warmer. Tomorrow's going to be cold and it's going to be raining, blah, 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 blah. And they're really saying this for your own good. That's the thing. But the thing about it is they're known as like the black sheep. They're very much like always in opposition, similar to the 8. And you just got to watch out for that. If you are a 4, maybe you hold your tongue. Not everybody wants to hear the truth. I've definitely learned that the last couple of years myself, being a life path 8, that you don't want to tell people the truth. You want to tell people the coded truth of like, yeah, slightly the truth, but more so just covering it up with a bunch of, bullshit. Like you need to literally just tell them lies because they really don't want to hear the truth. And even the people closest to you, they're ultimately going to use you or betray your trust anyways. So there's really no point opening your heart in that way. And as a numerologist, I'm just going to tell you that myself. If you're a 4 or an 8, don't bother. Relationships aren't going to work. You need to just understand that if you want a relationship to work, be fake and don't give them the actual hard facts. They don't want to hear it. They want to hear what they want to hear, and that's about it. If you do get lucky enough to find yourself a life path 4 or 8 for your spouse, then maybe that will work out. But aside from that, like, come on. You just got to get real with yourself. And Western numerology tries to like sugarcoat around that little fact that I'm bringing up, but that's the ultimate truth, is that relationships with people and with businesses, I'll say is good, but with people, not so good. Businesses that articulate around people, that you have to deal with people, just make sure that you know, I'm sorry to say this, how to manipulate them, but just know how to manipulate the situation to your advantage. You're a very well-organized person if you're a life path 4, and you're somebody that probably doesn't sugarcoat things often, but you got to learn to, unfortunately. All right. The next one I want to go over that's going to continue on with the life path 4 is going to be the life path of 22. So 2 is like the most sensitive number, empathy, feminine, yin energy, moon. We get it. So it's really in contradictory to the 4. That's all about like pragmatism and idealism and just having those limitations. The limitations of the 4 though is that they restrict themselves to like not mediocre jobs, but like if they have security, that's what they mostly aim for. And that's what makes the difference between them and 8s. That 8 will strive for high things, but a 4 will just be okay here if there's a lot of security. Examples of that would be like I said, the woman that I know that became a bank director. She took risks to be able to do that, whereas most 4s would not, even though they have the knowledge and the base to actually accomplish more with their lives. So that's what it comes down to, is you got to understand your own worth and then manifest that. 22s do have a bigger problem with that because 22 is demanding that you're a leader. 22 is demanding that you have worldwide influence, and it wants you to be that master builder that's ultimately a master teacher at the end by teaching people through the good actions that you've done. So when you understand that, you have to realize that if you're a master number 22, life path number 22, you got to look at it from that perspective of this is my life path, this is the highway that I'm on, it's fast paced and it has a lot of expectations, and that's just how it's going to be. Instead of whining about it, just really accept it and embrace it. Embrace who you are. It really could be very liberating for you when you accept the 22 as like really your savior, that you have to do something great in this time. You're not going to have a problem. You're really going to end up evolving beyond yourself and becoming something totally different, and that's the most liberating thing of all. So I read up on like Ann Perry, Felicia Bender, Glynis as well. I forgot her last name, but I had her book first. And with the Life Path 22, they all say the same thing. Very sentimental, very emotional. It could be overly sensitive, but high intuition because it has the power of the 11 as well. The weakness in my recommendation to 22s is this. You guys might be a little too sensitive to external forces. You got to look within and stop looking without, just like I said to the 2s, for that recognition and for that like pat on the back. You got to pat yourself on the back, and that how you're going to do that is through accomplishments, through achieving different things within your life. If you're in a job, get promoted. If you want to start your own business, become the best at it. If you want to get into sports, become the best. Because Life Path 22 is not going to let you get away with anything less. Like the ones, everybody thinks it's going to be a Life Path 1 that's going to be, all about being the best, being number one. But Life Path 22 is going to demand that you're the best. It's going to demand that you build something that lasts for generations. If you have kids, it's going to last. Even if you don't, it's still going to have to last through just memories of you. Just memories of what you've done you're going to be a notorious image in history. And that's what should be your goal if you're a Life Path 22, is to leave some sort of legacy, whether you're a man or a woman. You got to figure out what you want to reform, whether that be like a societal reform, political reform, educational reform, religious reform. It's really about bringing the two subconscious energy of using the subconscious mind and going within, but you got to also earth that down, bring it down to earth with the pragmatic energy of the 4. And when you can do that, you end up creating something really substantial that other people would not be able to. Life Path 22 in Western numerology is considered the most powerful number because it has the ultimate manifestation skills. Please, guys, also watch out for your thoughts and emotions. That has a double magnitude when you're a 22. It's going to affect what happens in your reality a lot. And also, you need to watch out for not just getting stuck in your head either. The thoughts and emotions that you have can make you feel so much stuck, and in turn you end up not actually manifesting anything because you're too caught up with how you feel. It's a high frequency, so it's understandable that takes a while to get used to. I've noticed that Felicia Bender tries to say that your 22 life path won't begin until you're about 45 to 50, and other numerologists in the Western field has said that as well. Not true. You can definitely manifest a Life Path 22 as early as possible. It's always there with you, but I know what they mean. They're just saying that you need to pretty much focus on that energy after those ages because you're more mature and able to deal with it, and your chakras may more be open at that time. So it all depends on experience. To me, I don't think age really provides as much experience as people like to think. I know young people that are a lot wiser than a lot of older people now, so it is what it is. Alright, so I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you have any questions regarding the 4 or the 22, please let me know. Aside from that though, guys, like, subscribe, holla. I'll be back tomorrow, guys, at Life Path 5. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.